Hey guys, today I'm here at Aston Martin of Orlando to give you guys a quick review of a 2018 McLaren 570s Spider. I've never gotten a chance to drive a McLaren up until now, and I'm very excited to give you guys an in-depth look of this beautiful entry-level McLaren. So I'm going to give you guys, as always, a quick overview of the exterior, interior, some of the engine, and of course, driving impressions. So guys, strap in, let's take a look. So starting right off the bat here in the exterior, McLaren came out with the 570s Spider in 2018, and I really love this color. It's called a ceramic gray. It's sort of like very similar to Nardo gray, but with a more bluish tint to it. I love the actual lower front apron over here. It's very nice. It's of course used for brake cooling, and then you have the additional venting over here for heat exchangers as well. You can even see the heat exchangers as you move in closer. And chime in if you guys own a 570s. I wonder if this, after driving quite a bit with all the rocks and everything when you're driving fast on the highway, if that would potentially get damaged, because it doesn't seem like it's got any protection in front of it, like a mesh grille or something like that. Nevertheless, the headlights are really nice. It's got that traditional McLaren look to it, which is very similar, or it's supposed to imitate the logo that we see over here. So for the daytime running light, you'll have this basically emulating the McLaren logo. Of course, we got a front nose over here that is quite short because this is a rear mid-engine vehicle. We have these gorgeous gunmetal rims, which are 19-inch here with a 225/35 Michelin Pilot Sport 4S. We have what seems to be some carbon ceramic brakes, two-piece floating rotors, and then we have red 6-piston caliper here in the front. Of course, we got the designation for the 570s here on the side sill. And one thing that I truly love is this little design feature for the air intake that goes into the engine in the rear, but it's integrated into the door very nicely. It gives a very distinct look. From the side profile, this looks like a full-blown spaceship, and they did a great job for the Spider version, because you do have these twin buttresses here in the rear that don't give it that typical convertible look. I really love it. I'll show you guys how it looks like with the top down afterwards. We do have a hardtop for this Spider, and that's how the McLaren 570s comes as well, very similar to the 720s. And then the rear tires and wheels, we have 20-inch, so they're staggered. They're wrapped in, of course, Michelin Pilot Sport 4Ss with 285/35/20. At the rear, we have a massive rear area deck. You have the venting here for the engine. We have that phenomenal design in the rear. I love the thin tail lights, the additional cooling over here that you have through the mesh that's integrated with the tail light as well. We do have some openings here as well. The exhaust tips, I think they should have done a little better job. Of course, on the 600 LT they improved that, and they actually ended up mounting them here in the middle. Much better. Actually, my bad, not in the middle. They ended up mounting them on the top, even better. It's kind of like as if they stopped putting effort here with the exhaust. They could have done way better. I think the rear diffuser looks phenomenal. You have this rear window that is functional. You can open it as you drive to give you a better oral experience when you're driving. That side vent for me is incredible. It's kind of like divided here between the top and the bottom. You have a little panel over here for the door that basically divides this vent in two, which then also serves as a place where you can actually place your hand, and you'll find a little button over here to open the door. Here comes the drama when you open the doors. You have dihedral doors. So this is one main advantage, of course, if you want to have this over, let's say, for example, a Lamborghini Huracan or a 488, is the fact that if you want to have that added drama, you have these dihedral doors. So this is what I was talking about with the buttresses, with the top down. It doesn't give it a typical convertible look. That's why I love these buttresses on this 570s. Really gives it an aggressive or more aggressive look. So now taking a look at the interior, as always, starting off with the door cards. Here we'll see that we have some buttons, and they're placed this way towards the bottom, because when you open the door, of course, it'll be right there in front of you. We have the door sill over here, which is part of the carbon tub that McLaren has. Quite thick. You do have some options if you want to basically make this into a carbon fiber, but I personally wouldn't, just because getting in and out most likely will cause you to scuff the door sills. Look how thick that is. Quite comfortable. They're quite huggy. I'm not sure which seats these are. These are not definitely a performance oriented seat compared to some of the other options that you can get, but they're relatively comfortable, and I love the fact that they're so thin, as you can see over here, and you have a mix of Alcantara with some leather. The other cool thing that I really love about this is the fact that you have these really nice pedals for both the brake and gas. Seems like it's nice machined aluminum. I also wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the seat controls. Not very convenient because they're situated over here and you cannot see what you're adjusting. So it will take you some time to get used to the seat controls, because every time I try to adjust the seats, I'm always touching the wrong button. They could have actually put it maybe there on the side. Having it here, especially not even being able to see it from the entry point of the vehicle, makes it very, very, very complicated. So here in the interior of the McLaren 570s Spider, of course we have your very nice McLaren buttonless steering wheel. As always, they do this because they don't want to interfere with the driver. This is a very driver-oriented vehicle. I love the carbon fiber paddle shifters alongside with some more carbon fiber trim on the middle of the steering wheel. Then you have a bunch of levers. Surprisingly, you do have cruise control on this as well. Some nice Alcantara trim over here. Nice contrast stitching. A bit of, it seems like some leather. Could be a soft touch plastic over here. Carbon fiber trim around your window switches and your door release. You do have an electric door release over here. As soon as you flip it open, gives you access to get out. Automatic headlight controls over here. Your side view mirror switches over there as well. Your gauge cluster is fully digital, so it gives you a bunch of readouts. Couple of vents over here in the middle, one on the side for this passenger, and then another one here for the driver. Very small infotainment screen. I do like this little guy over here with the helmet. Kind of goes back to the McLaren racing heritage. That's your home screen over here. It's touch screen, so that's at least pretty good. The fact that you do have such a small screen and some GPS is not great, frankly speaking. I know that they've actually improved it quite a bit on the new Artura, which replaces this. So you have a bunch of shortcuts which allow you to get to specific screens and functionalities relatively quickly. You do have a cup holder over here, not that big, little storage area. Your engine start stop, that you do have a launch button. That's, believe it or not, is your automatic start stop for the engine. Quite odd, but it is what it is. Lock button, your front trunk. That's a really cool feature as well that I like. This actually opens and closes the rear window while still having your roof up if you want to. So if I put it down, now you guys can see that the window here is open. So I get more of an oral experience from the engine over here. I have a direct path to the engine sound or the engine note. And of course, if you want to, you can then close it. Some switches over here for the lights, small little visors. You don't have much storage space in this car. You don't have any sort of door bins. You don't have any glove box over here. You only have a small storage net, a small storage area here in the middle, and then a very, very small middle compartment with some USB-A plugs here. You have 3 of them over there. Typical 12-volt cigarette style plug as well. Yeah, it's not very practical in terms of storage. You're not getting this for that. You're getting this to enjoy the drive. Unfortunately, guys, McLaren made it in such a way where you can't actually open the rear cover for the engine bay. The only thing you can get access to is this little panel over here that opens up, that basically allows you to put your coolant and your oil as well. So that's the only thing you can do. Little panel over here, which then closes. The engine itself is a 3.8 liter twin turbo V8. This twin turbo engine pushes out 562 horsepower and about, if I'm not wrong, 443 pounds per foot of torque. It is mated to a dual clutch transmission. You do get to see some of the engine through this venting here in the rear, but unfortunately, like I said before, guys, no access directly to the engine bay. So let's see how long it takes to actually take down the convertible top on this McLaren 570s. let's hope this works, because it's my first time filming with a headset on, so let's see how it goes. This way I can give you guys a POV view of my drive. So first things first, guys, steering is very communicative. Let's not forget that McLaren still uses hydraulic steering instead of electric, so that actually allows you to have more communication with the road and get the feedback in terms of what's going on as well. Opening up the rear window makes it a little bit better in terms of the engine noise, but it's still not that great for a V8. How would you compare this to a Ferrari? I still prefer the Ferrari or the Lambo. Lambo, of course, comes with a naturally aspirated V10. But the transmission though, wow, it's so fast. It is so fast. So far, I mean, the drive is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Unfortunately, I haven't driven any of its competitors to give you guys a good idea of how it compares to the Huracan or even the 488, because 488 at the time, that's what its competition was in 2018. And like I said before, the suspension is actually quite compliant. Very surprising. It's not that bad. There you go. That the seats are not that comfortable. It could be that there's lumbar support over here that I can't adjust. Yeah, the middle of my back is feeling it though. What I would say is amazing suspension, amazing steering feel, incredible transmission. Engine is, I mean, very responsive. Engine note is not that great though, but aside from that, pretty good. Seats aren't that great though. Yeah, even at slow speeds, the transmission switch is extremely fast. Whereas in some other vehicles on a slower speed, it basically adapts to what speed you actually are going at, and it basically will adjust based on that in terms of how fast the transmission will change. But this is fast no matter what. And guess what, guys? There's a 296 GTB, and it looks like it's an Assetto Fiorano over there. Very, very nice. So there's something odd with the turn signal or the turn stalk. Whenever I try to put it, it doesn't automatically hold. It'll go back down, and I have to give it a couple of times for it to actually stay in place, which is kind of odd. Yeah, I can't say I'm a fan of the engine note on the 570S though. Being a V8, I know it's a 3.8 liter, but still it should actually have a better sound to it. I wish I could give you guys some feedback compared to its competition, like the 488, which is the Ferrari of the same era. Or the Huracan, but I cannot. But I can tell you with confidence that there's a lot of good things about this car, including the ride feel, the transmission, and the engine responsiveness, given that it's a twin turbo V8. So guys, I hope you like this quick overview on the 570S Spider 2018 model. Would you take this over the Ferrari 488 or the Lamborghini Huracan? Well, it really depends what you guys are looking for. These McLarens actually depreciate a little bit faster than the Ferraris and the Huracans. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you could actually probably pick it up for a little bit more affordable than those other two models that it competes with. I cannot give you guys pricing because pricing changes all the time. And I want you guys to also know that Aston Martin of Orlando right now has this particular 570S Spider for sale. I want you guys to check out the links below for the listing itself and you can also check out their website to see what they have in inventory. But this one right now is up for sale. If you guys enjoyed it, you can take a look at it, give them a call, see what it's all about. Like I said before, I can't give you the price because of course the prices do change. My opinion is I would probably take this over the other two just because it's more affordable. I'd probably keep it for a short period of time because the maintenance and the reliability on McLarens doesn't have a good reputation, so you might be ending up having to pay quite a bit for maintenance and upkeep. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, and if you guys have any questions on this, feel free to reach out to me. Once again, thanks for everything. I'll see you guys on the next one.